Hey guys, Kaz here, and today I'm going to be doing my June TBR. So in May, I very much enjoyed my non-TBR month, my read whatever the shit I want to read month. You'll hear about all the things I read in my wrap-up. I say all, there was quite a few. But we're going to go back to an oldie but goldie. We're going to be going back to Scrabble TBR. So again, no readathon this month, just my own things. Let's go. I'll give you a tiny little lowdown first because it's been a while since I've done this. But basically, Scrabble TBR, we got the Scrabble tiles, we pull out 7 because that's how many you have when you have a Scrabble game. And then I roll a d8. That decides how many of these tiles that I need to choose books for. And then I have to choose a book that starts with that letter. Pretty simple. A few things. Number 1, obviously a d8 is more than 7. If I roll an 8, I just have to add an extra letter. And then obviously there are 2 blank tiles in Scrabble as well. That just means whatever I want. It's like a mood read, but Scrabble type. They're all mood reads, unless I only have one book that starts with that letter. And then it's kind of like, it has to be that one. But let's just pick them out. You'll figure it out as we go. It's not hard, to be fair. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's dig around over here, 6 and 7. Obviously using the d8 means that I can choose which letters I use if I get less than 7, which is always a bonus. Some letters I just don't own any books for, so it's always nice when that comes up and then I don't have to try and figure it out. But anyway, let's see what these are. So first of all, we have a K. Is that upside down? It is upside down, but it's the same thing, isn't it? We have a K. We have a U, also upside down. We have an E. There we go. It's hard to see on this screen what is going on. An N, I think. It's that way, right? An N. Yes. We have another E. Another E, which is just every single E in Scrabble. And then we have another N. It's very, very similar right now. And honestly, I don't know how many books I own that would work for each of these letters. So we'll have to do the roll and see what's going on there. That's just a lot of the same letters. And we also try and figure out what we would put on the board if we were starting Scrabble. So let me have a think about that. There's not really many choices, is there? I think it would just have to be the word keen. There's not really much choice here, and that would give us 16 points. So onto the roll. I'm also going to pick a book from my Scrolls in a Bowl. So yeah, let's do that and then we'll figure out what's going on. So we've got our d8 here. Let's give it a roll. 1. I feel like that's a little bit too easy, so maybe let's do it again. 5. Okay, that's a bit better. I'm also going to pick from the scrolls, even though, to be honest, there's I think 2 of the previous scrolls I've picked that I've not actually read yet. I can't remember which ones they are, but you know, we'll pick another one anyway. We've got a pink one here. It's kind of hard to do when I'm not got 2 hands. Trying to do this with one hand is hard. Dumb jock. So we rolled a 5. Well, first we rolled a 1 and I was like, that's a little bit silly, isn't it? So we rolled a 5. Also picked out dumb jock, which unfortunately does not work for any of the letters, but this is a book that I'll be reading. It's a book 1 of a series, and I think it's a male-male romance where one of them is a dumb jock and one of them's probably social outcast. You know the jam, the nerd, the jock. We'll see if it's a good version of that story. Who knows? Not me yet, because I haven't read it. For everything else, I'm gonna have to have a look, see what's going on, see. I don't even know how many books I own that starts with an E, so that might be hard. But yeah, I will head on over to a message for one of the spawns for you guys, and then I'll be back with the books in a second. Or longer. But for you, it will be a second. What's the matter? Right, so we've had a search, we've got some books. I had a look on my spreadsheet and yes, I was correct, I don't really have many books beginning with E. In fact, I have two, and those are Endurance by F.A. Wordsley and Endurance by Alfred Lansing. This is both about the endurance boats because I have many books about Shackleton. Hello, what are you meowing at? Give me 1 second. So yeah, I'm going to go with this one because F.A. Wordsley was the captain of the ship, so I want to read his words before I read this one, which is some other random dude. So yeah, for one of the E's, I'm picking Endurance, and then I pretty much have to do all of the other letters because I got so many E's and I don't have many E's. So yes, this is Endurance. It is about the Endurance, Shackleton's boat, that had a big old epic adventure. The boat broke and then all of the men had to row in really small boats, get to some island, and then a small selection of them had to go to another island on their own and find people to come back and help them. It was a long time. It's very much an epic adventure. Obviously I know the main story, I've read about it several times, but this is by F.A. Wordsley, who was one of the dudes who were there. So yeah, I'm interested to hear from the captain himself. I have read Shackleton's Boat Journey by F.A. Wordsley, which is just the boat story, but this is obviously going to be everything, so very much looking forward to that. And then we had two N's, and I had a look at my spreadsheet and I own 3 books with N's, but one of them is the second book in a series, so I couldn't pick that one. So the only choices I had were Nevernight and Ninth House, and these two have been on TBR in the past, but it was one that had loads of books, and I think it might have been for readathon, so there was like loads of stuff going on, and I didn't get around to either of them. But now it gives me another excuse to read these and start 2 new series for some reason. So Nevernight by J. Kristoff. I don't know what this is about, I can't remember. It's been on my TBR for years. People talked about it being good, and it's been so long that I can't even remember what anything is about. So there's a person, there's the lessons in death, there's a church, there's no ordinary student, something like that. There's a bird on the cover, it looks really cool. We'll see if it is. And then the other one, Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This one is, what do they call them? No, gothic, no, what's the word? Studenty, education, I can't think of the words. What do they call these sort of things? You know, that buzzword that everyone sort of got into. And then it's about schools and dark stuff in schools, and it's a phrase. Dark academia, I don't know why that was so hard, and I didn't just remember that, I just went over to my computer and googled what is the phrase to do with dark schools. Dark academia, obviously. That's what this book is, I believe. Set in a college or something, I don't know. Freshman class, Yale, yeah, that's college. Dead girls on campus, stuff's going on. Magic that's dark, and also academia, is what I know about this book. So, we shall see. Hopefully I'll actually get to it now. I will do. The TBR is not that big, it is quite big. The books are chunky, but they're fun. So yeah, that's the next one. Then we also had a K, which is really good actually, because yesterday I watched my good friend Katie over on An Interested Reader do their TBR, and they mentioned reading Kate in Waiting by Becky Albertalli, and I commented, oh hey, maybe we should do like a low-key buddy read of that book, because I also own it and I've not read it. And now I got a K, and like, fate, you know what I mean? Kate in Waiting. This is about 2 best friends, a boy and a girl, and they both fall in love with the same guy, and then contemporary drama probably ensues. So yeah, I've only read Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. I know she's brought out several books since then. I thought that one was alright. I didn't rate it as high as most other people did, so we'll see. We'll see with this one. We will see. We'll see. And hopefully it'll be a fun time to buddy read this as well. And number 5, the last one, is a U, so it might be a little bit of a cop-out. The Unwritten, the next volume I need to read of this, is volume 5, so boom, The Unwritten, volume 5. On to Genesis, this one is called, and this is a series I've been reading this year. It's about a guy whose dad wrote these books about a fantastical school and a group of friends there, and the main guy's called Tommy, and then his name's Tommy, so it's like based on him, but then not really. So everyone's like, oh hey, you're the character from this wizarding school that's not that wizarding school, it's a different wizarding school, you're that character. And then like crazy things happen, words exist, weird secret societies, all that jazz. So yeah, volume 5. Let's get on it. Also, probably should put this on here because I own it. I don't own it. I borrowed it from the library about 6 months ago and I still haven't read it, and then I have to give it back to the library on like the 2nd of June, but then I'll probably just re-borrow it even though I've had it for 6 months and still haven't read it. But that book is United as One by Pittacus Law. This is the last book in the, whatever this series is called, I always forget. I am number 4. Lorien Legacies series. This is the last book. I borrowed it from a library. I've had it for 6 months. I just haven't got around to doing it because I was doing loads of stupid readathons, and then last month I just didn't read it. So yeah, I'm probably going to take this back to the library once it opens again after 6 months of me having this because the library was closed, and then be like, hey, I'm just going to renew this book that I've had for 6 months. And then hopefully actually read it. We will see. But yeah, this is a fun series. It's sci-fi. It's about these alien dudes, kids, guys, people. And then another alien dude, guys, people trying to kill them alien guys, dude, peoples. And they're doing it on Earth. And this is sort of a bit of an old schooler series. And I've enjoyed it so far. So finally read the last book. It's on my 2024 TBR. Because it also finishes a series as well. So yeah, I should probably read this. Then obviously earlier on I did mention Dumb Jock by Jeff Erno, which was the book that I pulled out of my Scrolls in a Bowl. And I mentioned that it's about a geeky guy and then a dumb jock guy, and then probably them getting together because that's the sort of thing that happens. And then I also mentioned in that clip that I had some that I'd pulled from the Scroll Bowl that I hadn't read. I did have a look at those because they were both pinned to my pin board, and one of them actually I have read, I just hadn't thrown it in the bin. But the other one was You Don't Know Jack by MC Lee. That is one that I pulled a few months ago that I've not read, so tentatively putting it on here, but if you don't read it then that's fine. But I just thought I will remind myself that I have pulled that from my Scrolls in a Bowl. And the Scrolls in the Bowl are just books that I've had for ages that I should probably read. Both of these are indie published, so I should probably get them read. And oh yeah, and that one is like a dude who's a spy at school, but then he's falling for the dude that is going to be spying on in the school. Spies. And then last but not least, it is, I don't know why I said it is, that makes no sense. Where's the book? That's here. And then last but not least, obviously I am participating in the Buzzwordathon challenge readathon thing stuff guy that happens throughout the month. Every month. Throughout the year is the word I was looking for. And the prompt for June is repeating words, and this is a bit of a cop-out, but all of the books that I wrote in the list of books I could potentially read for this, all the repeating words is just the something of the something. Because I don't really have many books that have repeating words that is not there. So I've put The Sun and the Star by Rick Riordan and Micah Shero on this, because this is another book that's on my 2024 TBR, and I do try and read 2 of them a month just because there's 24 books on there. If I read 2 a month, boom, that's how many I need to read to get them read. So yes, this is about Nico. It's very much in the Rick Riordan universe, in the Percy Jackson universe. I don't know anything about this book. Like, anytime anyone talks about it, I'm like, skip, skip, skip. I don't want to know, I just want to read it. I know it's about Nico, and I don't even know if it's like a standalone, if it's going to be a part of a series about him. I don't know if it's still middle grade or if it's written more YA because he's obviously an older person now. We shall see. Hopefully it's good. There you go. What I do know about it is that there's going to be some like god stuff going on because it's Rick Riordan. 2 demigods, a heroic quest, 1 prophecy. That's all I need to know. Don't need to know anymore. And obviously it's got Mike Ashiro as a co-author. So yeah, hopefully it's a good time. So yes, there we go. Those are all the books on my June TBR. Will I read them all? Probably not. But hopefully I'll get to most of them. We shall see. Let me know down below anything that you're reading in June, or if you've read any of these, which ones should I go for first. Just, yeah, do the things if you want, subscribe if you want, comment if you want, like if you want. but only if you want. And yes, I'll be back in a few days with another video. Bye.